מביט מהחלום, זה עושה לי די עצוב. האביב חלף עבר, מי יודע אם ישוב. הליצן היה למלך, הנביא נהיה ליצן, ושכחתי.
In regard to the letter that I signed, my position was made very clear during the election campaign that my position has not changed. I signed the letter for a reason. I was a foreign correspondent and I believe that media should be able to operate without being targeted during conflict.
It was being in Berlin and visiting the Holocaust Museum. It was being in the Czech Republic, in Prague, and visiting the Jewish Museum there. It was being in Vienna and visiting the Jewish Quarter, the so-called Jewish Quarter, where there are no Jews left today. And reading the stories of Jewish families that fled Spain in the 15th and 16th century for Europe to find freedom and safety and community, who were then wiped out in the Holocaust. And that really reaffirmed for me why Israel is important.
In my previous life, I was a researcher at Monash. I was an associate professor and I was a clinical director of a medtech entity at Monash, which was focused on basically commercializing tech. And my interest was in AI. And it became pretty clear to me pretty quickly that Israel was the go-to country, right, for Australia to learn from.
It is difficult as Australian MPs to be running commentary on international conflicts because we are representative of the Australian community. But I do want to make this observation that thank goodness for the Iron Dome defence system, because without it, these three-day conflicts wouldn't be three-day conflicts. It would have escalated so much more.
אבל אני עוד כאן, ויהיה טוב, כן. לפעמים אני נשבע, אז הלילה איתך אני נשאר. ילדים לובשים כנפיים ועפים אל הצבא, ואחרי שנתיים הם חוזרים ללא תשובה. אנשים חיים במתח, מחפשים סיבה לנשום.
יש אישה גדולה בחיים, יש שיר שיש רק לה, יש קסמים ויש ימים קשים, שוב אמר שהיא כולה הבמה, דיבה היסטריה, היא כולה שיר אהבה. ויבה לה מיה, ויבה ויטוריה, אפרודיטה. ויבה לה מיה, ויבה ויטוריה, קליאופטרה. ויבה לה מיה, ויבה ויטוריה,
lots of attack on Israel over a number of years, and what Israel desperately needs are friends that stick with them through thick and thin. And that's where the Liberal Party has always been. The Liberal Party will be the last party that tells Israel where they should put their capital.
Does anyone know in this room though, how many convictions in the last 20 years we've had in Victoria under the Racial and Religious Tolerance Act and the vilification? Does anyone know? 2. One single conviction. And I think that tells you when there are student motions being passed in universities, when you have a parliament that's adopted the IRA definition, that the legislation isn't working. You need to strengthen the protection around vilification.
I was very disappointed with the federal government's decision on Jerusalem. Very disappointed. It wasn't the decision that I would have made. I think that a sovereign state has the right to choose its own capital. That's my position as the Labor Party candidate.
The reality is that definitions don't stop racism. They never have and they never will. If someone's walking down Carlisle Street and wanting to, say something anti-Semitic, they're not going to pause and think, wait a minute, we've adopted that IRA, I'm not going to say this.
מדברים על השלום ויהיה טוב,
A council in Melbourne's southeast will vote on the adoption of an official definition of anti-Semitism tonight. The Australian Jewish Democratic Society has lobbied against its adoption by the Glen Ira Council, saying it could be weaponised against critics of Israel. But President of Zionism Victoria, Yossi Goldfarb, says the definition would only reflect the views of the community.
It would give the council an opportunity to reflect the views of its community if they were to support this definition. I think certainly the vast majority of the community support this definition, and I hope that the council pays heed to that.
We're talking about the oldest form of prejudice that affects the minority community. It's anti-Semitism, hands down. And it's so wildly misunderstood, but not only is it misunderstood, but how much access do people have to real understanding and how much willingness. And once you start to scratch the surface of this, you realise how institutionalised the hatred and the suspicion around Jews is, and the lack of willingness to really learn about Jew hatred and where it comes from.
I feel, since I arrived, that I'm embraced, not just as a mayor, but as the representative of the country that we all love. I was posted in the United States, I was posted in the United Kingdom, in Turkey and Ankara, and I never experienced such a warm, united, devoted, and strong community.
אתם יכולים לזהות גמים, איזה טנקים, כמה טנקים?
סליחה על ההתבטאות הלא מדויקת, אבל הרבה טנקים.
So this is a locket that hung on a chain. It belonged to Fanny Wolfson. Fanny Wolfson was the wife of David Wolfson, and David Wolfson was Herzl's successor when he passed away. So you would open, this is a little pencil, it would open up, and inside is a little autograph book. And I don't want to flip the pages because I don't want the pages to fall out. But on the top is an autograph from Benjamin. Benjamin is Herzl. His Hebrew name was Binyamin Zev Herzl.
אז הלילה, הלילה, איתך אני נשאר.
needed was for one man to decide to wipe us out, gather a bunch of people who would do it for him, and then have the world sit back and let it happen. All it took was there not being one country in the world that held the Jews as their top priority. And as a result of that, a third of the Jewish population, 33%, were wiped off the face of the earth. So I need one country in this world that holds me as a priority. One country that I know, no matter where I am in this world, will come and rescue me and protect me. And whatever it is today, what would be the equivalent of bombing the train tracks, I need a country that would do that. And you can tell me all day long that this country might be the country that will do it, but I don't trust you. And you've given me no reason to. So I trust the Jewish state. And that is why I am a Zionist. And that is why I will forever be a Zionist.
יום חדש